What's up, bookish bags? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys all the books that I read in the month of July. I believe I read 11 books. I audiobook 2 because I don't own them yet, and I audiobook 2 and I read one on my Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, I guess we're gonna start with the ones that no, because if I start with the ones I audiobook, it won't go in order of what I read. But we're just gonna go from, you know, the beginning of the month to the end. I guess that's how I should go in this video because I'd be all over the place. So let's go that way. So the first book I read this month was on my Kindle. I feel like I need my Kindle in my hand to hold up. But then again, I'm gonna put the picture right here for you guys. But either way, the first book I read was The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I started that at the end of June and I finished it on July 3rd. I gave that book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it so much. Um, it was basically about vampires and this human girl. First of all, the way it ended kind of blew my mind because I was thinking while I'm talking to you guys, let me make sure this mic is on because last time we had that issue. But anyways, um, it's about us human who was raised by the vampire king, and they end up having to go to war. It was a lot going on in that book. A lot of people say it reminds them of Akatar. Was it Akatar? No, it was not Akatar. It was Throne of Glass. That's what a lot of people say it reminds them of. And I can see why they say that. Because she was very much giving, well, no, because, but I can see why they say that. Let's just go with that. I can see why they say that. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was a great book. After reading that, I believe I decided to set myself up for failure and read sad books for a week. I did. I did end up setting myself up for failure mentally and reading sad books for a week, and I only made it through 3 books because I was just not. It was just not. We was not gonna do that. The first book I read in the video, if you haven't seen the video, I'll link it up above in the cards for you guys to go watch. But the first book I read was All the Bright Places. It's about Finch and Violet. I don't even remember what this book about. I gave it 3 stars. But yes I do. No, do I? I don't remember what it's about. So that says a lot. I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed the book. Apparently it's a small town romance. I don't remember what this book is about, and that is so crazy. Like, I feel like I read this book so long ago that I cannot even tell you what this book is about. I gave it 3 stars though. I do remember that. That is all I remember. After reading that, I went in and read The Way I Used to Be. Now, this book is amazing. After reading that one, I went in and read The Way... No, I'm lying again. I read You Read Sam, and I audiobook 3 books, so I read You Read Sam. This is about this girl whose boyfriend passes away in a car accident, if I'm not mistaken. And she's grieving his death, and she ends up calling him one day, and he picks up. I gave this book a 3.75. I enjoyed them, but someone commented on my video of reading that for a week, and they asked a good question about whether or not she was having a mental breakdown and if her actually calling Sam really happened or was it just in her head. And that was a good question because it never said if it was real or, but then again, his cousin ended up talking to him on the phone as well. which is very unhealthy. It's a very unhealthy way to grieve. But I gave this book a 3.75. I did enjoy it. I loved her friends, although yeah. But anyways, 3.75 for You Read Sam. And then I read The Way I Used to Be. Now, this book right here, I gave a 4.75. I gave a 4.75. It is about Eden. She was, I want to say like 14. She was just a freshman in college. No, high school. Oh, I think I was saying college. She was a freshman in high school, and one night, her brother, best friend, SA her, sexually assaulted her. And she basically went through this book like she didn't have anyone to talk to. No one really realized that how she was behaving wasn't really how, like, as you, me, I think I'm very attentive to situations with people. I know when something's wrong, so I'm always gonna ask, "Are you okay? Like, what's wrong? Do you like you're not acting yourself?" No one cared to ask her why was she behaving the way she was behaving. Like, what was going on? Like, what happened? Is something happened that you need to talk to me about? Like, what's going on? No one. Everybody was just like, "Oh, you're just being grown." Like, she's been a teenage girl. Like, she got high. Like, it was giving very much. No one was paying attention to her, down to her friends, except for this one guy that she wasn't even friends with, but they was associates, and he knew the way that she was behaving wasn't right, so he stepped in. Although, be it was close to the end of the book, he stepped in and tried to assist. I I felt so bad for her, but when she finally, at the end of the book, how the book ended, I was so happy and relieved for her. But I think it's another book coming out. I forgot the name of it. It's another book coming out in this series. I think it's from the brother's point of view or something like that, or maybe no, it's not from the brother. It's from the love interest in this book point of view, if I'm not mistaken. So I will be reading that because I enjoyed this book so much, so much. If you haven't read The Way I Used to Be, set up trigger warnings first, then read, because it's a great book. So after reading that, I audiobook Arc Enemies, and that is the second book in the Renegade series. Picture will be right here. I audiobook that. First of all, if you haven't read Renegade, read Renegade. I think about Marissa Myers. Read Renegades. Renegades is such a Marvel's girls or guy fantasy. Like, it is just amazing. It's about this group of, oh my goodness, like, every time I think about this book, I want to go watch Flash, Captain America, or just something. But it's about that book. Why do that book make me so happy? But it's about this great gang of this. It's, how do I explain this book to you guys? Because what are their names? It's the Renegades, who basically is like the governor of the city, and then you have the Arch Enemies, who are basically trying to fight for freedom for everybody, not just we got to listen to what you say. That be that. They want freedom and equality for everyone as a whole, and for everyone to be able to not be so dependent on superheroes and depend on basically growing your own food and stuff like that. That's what they want. But the Renegades are trying to kick it to everybody else, like their Arch Enemies are just trying to destroy the world. So just read the book. If you love Marvels or anything of the sorts, you're going to enjoy Renegades. I read the second book this month. I read the first book last month, the second book this month. And I gave the book a 4.75. I enjoy that series so freaking much. Amazing book. 4.75. If you haven't read Renegades. Please read Renegades and go through that whole series because the way that them books are so good, it is crazy. After reading that, I read The Kingmaker by King Ryan. First of all, we love a simplistic cover, a smooth matte black, the flowers. I'm here for the cover. The inside of the books is very politicky. If you don't like to hear about a lot of politics and things like that, then you might not like this book. I enjoy this book. I give this book 4 stars. It's about Lennox and Max. I think his name is Maximum, but we're gonna call him Max. Max fathers. Max father owns a pipeline company, and they basically laid a pipe in Indian territories. Lennox was fighting to not have that happen because that land's supposed to be protected, and it's supposed to be like where they perform all their celebrations and rituals and stuff like that. They end up meeting doing this because Maximum dad ended up having tear gas and dogs attack the protesters. Maximum was not with it. He hopped out the car to go save Lynch for getting bit by a dog. They meet. That was it. I want to say like 4 years later, they meet again. Their love, like you cannot say their chemistry is not there because once they met the second time, chemistry was so strong. Both of them were trying to save the world, but just in different ways. Maximum is actually trying to save global warming and stuff like that, but Linus is trying to make sure that everybody have equal rights, not just white Americans, but women and the Indian race. Just everyone have equal quality. So she like, first of all, Linus is a badass. First, let's get that out the way. But the way this book ended had me run. Well, I didn't even have to run to the store because I purchased it anyways because I have a impulsive buying habit. When I buy the first book, I need the second one. So I immediately grabbed the second book off my shelf and start reading. I didn't finish it yet because I got caught up in doing something else. So 4.75. Love this book. After reading that, I went into Happily Ever After Playlist by Abby Jimenez. The first book is Friend Zone, and this is the second book. I love this book so much. The Friend Zone, I think I gave it 3 stars. I gave this one a 4.75. It follows along after after what happened to her in the first book. It picks up after that. It picks up and when she was riding down the street and a dog hopped in her sunroof. And the guy who dog it is happens to be a famous rock star named Jason. Jason was happened to be on tour. He did not know. She ended up babysitting his dog until he came back in town. They end up linking up, meeting, and it goes from there. I enjoyed this book so much. Like the way I was laughing and so proud of Sloan throughout this whole book. It was just amazing. 4.75. I need to read Life is Too Short by her. I think it's the only book I haven't read yet. I need to read that one. But amazing book. After reading that, I finally got to Blood Like Magic. And let's just say her grandma. I just love reading about a black family in books because I can relate so much, and their bond is amazing. It's just amazing. I had a video, a reading vlog of me reading this book, as well as the Happy Ever After playlist. I'll link it above for you guys as well. But it's basically about Voya. She's 15 and she happens to get her period, and she's a witch. So what that means is when she get her period, she had to go through this blood trial. where she has to pass a test to see what magic she receives. Now, her test wasn't just some type of normal test, like it was just outrageous. But it just you just read it. You're gonna fall in love with her family. You're gonna fall in love with her, the story. Search up the trigger warnings in this book as well because they do touch on some tough topic for most. It's a like just search up the trigger warnings before you read it. It is an amazing book. I love it. I just love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I gave this book a 4.75 as well, and yes. After reading this, I finally decided. When I did the book, I finally decided to give the Red Queen a try, and let's just say I read. It's 4 books in the series. I've already read 3. I'm on the 4th book as we speak. Why nobody told me this book was so good? The series was so good. Please, if you haven't read The Red Queen, don't be like me and have the book on your shelf for years. Read the book. It's about Mare Barrow. It's it's like a world divided between red bloods and silver bloods. The silver bloods supposed to be almighty. They're the kings and queens and all those, while the red bloods are basically looked at as slaves and servants and beneath the silver. Mare Barrow happens to be an exception to this because she's not only red but silver. Her blood is red, but she has silver abilities, and they don't know where it came from. And the love triangle. I read this book. After finishing this book, I immediately dove into the next book, which was The King Cage, which I also gave a 4 stars. I gave this book a 4 stars. I gave The King Cage a 4 stars, and what was another one? What was the other one? The King Cage, and hold on. Now these are the 2 books I audio the ones I audiobook because I don't own. Okay, so it's The Red Queen, then it's The Glass Sword, and then The King Cage. I gave each book a 4 stars. I am currently on War Storms as we speak, so yeah. But those are all the books I read in July. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Alright guys, so before I end today's video, I wanted to announce that I'll be doing a giveaway for reaching 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And all you have to do is be subscribed to me and comment down below your Amazon wish list. I'll be choosing two winners on August the 12th. That's when the giveaway will end. It will start the day I post this video, which is August 1st, and end on August 12th. Just comment down below your Amazon wish list, and I will be buying 3 books off your Amazon wish list for 2 lucky winners. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know I truly appreciate you guys for following me along on this journey, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. So make sure you're following the channel. If you're not, you're subscribed, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And comment down below your Amazon wish list. I'll be choosing 2 winners. This giveaway is only for YouTube for right now. When I hit goals that I've planned for each of my other accounts, I will be doing giveaways on those as well. But for right now, YouTube only. You have to be subscribed to the channel and comment down below your Amazon wish list, and I will be purchasing 3 books off your Amazon wish list for 2 lucky winners. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.